Ministry of Health welcomes government's move to make wearing of face masks mandatory. No limit on Eid al-Adha visitors for now. Hello and good afternoon. I'm Mohana Priya. Welcome to Updates at Noon. Health Director General Dato Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah has revealed that 24.8% of those undergoing the Home Surveillance Order or HSO from 7th to 20th July did not use the Home Assessment Tool function. Explaining further, Dato Dr. Nur Hisham said the function was meant for individuals to undergo self-assessment that needs to be done every day during the 14-day quarantine period at home.
Setakat ini bilangan penggembara yang pulang dari luar negara iaitu person under surveillance yang dikehendaki menjalani home surveillance order adalah sebanyak 31,674 orang dan jumlah yang sudah tamat tempoh kuarantin adalah 18,416 orang. Namun daripada jumlah ini 10% didapati tidak menjalani saringan COVID-19 pada hari yang ke-13.
The Health Director General said the police have been informed on the matter and they will be taking action against the 10% who are non-compliant. Dr. Nur Hisham added that he is worried with the compliance of the standard operating procedure as more and more people have resumed their pre-COVID-19 pandemic lives by eating at restaurants, shopping at supermarkets and working in offices. He said that data analysis through the MySejahtera app showed that although the number of registered users increased over the last 3 weeks, the number of check-ins at premises such as restaurants and supermarkets was showing a downward trend. He reminded the premises owners and the general public to continue complying with the SOPs set in order to break COVID-19 infection in the country. Meanwhile, Dr. Nur Hisham said the Health Ministry welcomes the decision by the government to make wearing face masks compulsory when in public transportation and crowded places. The Health Director General also urged the public to immediately wear the face masks without waiting for the enforcement date. Dato Dr. Nur Hisham also reminded that wearing masks can reduce the infectivity rate of COVID-19 by up to 60%, while social distancing can bring it down by almost 70%. He said the public is also permitted to use homemade face masks, which follow the specifics issued by the World Health Organization. Yesterday, Senior Minister Dato Sri Ismail Sabri made the announcement that beginning 1st August, everyone will be required to wear face masks when in public transportation and crowded places. He said those who refuse to adhere to the new ruling can be slapped with a 1,000 ringgit compound notice under the Prevention and Control of Infectious Diseases Act 1988. The government also had announced that the ceiling price for face masks will be reduced by 30 cent from 1 ringgit 50 cent to 1 ringgit 20 cent per unit beginning 15th August. Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs Minister Dato Alexander Nanti Linggi said the wholesale price for the product would also be reduced from the current 1 ringgit 45 cent per unit to 1 ringgit 15 cent per unit from the same date. Meanwhile, the government has decided to enforce stern action on restaurant operators and owners who refuse or fail to adhere to the standard operating procedures. Senior Minister Dato Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said for this, the authorities will increase patrol at restaurants and eateries to ensure that the SOP is being followed by everyone. Dato Sri Ismail Sabri said those who fail to follow SOP could be hauled to court, issued a compound fine and receive orders to close down their restaurant.
Banyak restoran, banyak warung-warung tidak melakukan peraturan yang ditetapkan ini. Akhirnya duduk berhimpit-himpit di dalam restoran dan sebagainya seperti biasa, seperti dulu-dulu. Jadi perkara ini juga boleh menyebabkan berlaku peningkatan COVID positif ini dan telah ada kluster restoran.
Previously, a restaurant cluster was detected recently at a Brickfields eatery where 2 Indian nationals tested positive for the disease. They were discovered during a random screening by the Health Ministry, where a total of 250 people had been tested, including 14 workers and 236 customers, resulting in 248 people testing negative. On another note, Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri said the government has yet to make any decision to limit the number of visitors during the Hari Raya Aidil-Adha celebration. The senior minister said it all depends on the number of new cases reported and advice from the Health Ministry.
Kita konsisten. Kalau hari biasa boleh berkunjung ke rumah, Raya Haji pun kita tidak menetapkan untuk menyekat. Oleh mana pun seperti saya kata, situasi mungkin berubah dalam 1 hari 2 hari. Kalau dinasihatkan oleh Kementerian Kesihatan, kalau ada peningkatan kes secara mendadak, kita akan mengubah SOP dan polisi kita.
The National Unity Ministry will strengthen the appreciation of the principles of Rukun Negara through the rebranding of Rukun Negara clubs in primary and secondary schools, as well as a Rukun Negara secretariat at the institutions of higher learning. Its Minister Datuk Halimah Muhammad Sadiq said the Rukun Negara club module and the Rukun Negara secretariat also needs to be re-evaluated so that it is in line with the current scenario.
Dan sepatutnya pendidikan Rukun Negara ini bukan fokus kepada satu-satu jenis sekolah saja, sekolah kebangsaan saja, tapi dia mesti fokus kepada keseluruhan. Bila kita sebut sistem pendidikan, maknanya covers all. Sekolah rendah kebangsaan, sekolah rendah jenis kebangsaan Tamil, sekolah rendah jenis kebangsaan Cina dan sebagainya. Jadi 6,602 kelab-kelab Rukun Negara yang kita wujudkan ni, dia merangkumi kepelbagaian daripada 3 jenis sekolah yang saya sebutkan tadi.
Datuk Halimah said the National Unity Ministry, the Communications and Multimedia Ministry, the Education Ministry and the Higher Education Ministry have started discussions to ensure that the principles of Rukun Negara are included in the national education system. The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC, has revealed that 2,442 government servants have been arrested for bribery from 2015 to 2019. Its Chief Commissioner, Datuk Sri Azam Baki, said over half of them consist of youth under 40 years old.
Jika diimbas semula hasil daripada kajian persepsi rasuah Malaysia pada tahun 2002, yang dijalankan oleh UKM yang melibatkan 494 orang sebagai responden dan terdiri daripada para pelajar, ia menghasilkan 30.5% pelajar mengatakan sanggup menerima rasuah sekiranya diberi peluang ataupun peluang. Kini setelah 18 tahun kajian itu dibuat, dapatan kajian ini menjadi satu realiti. Realiti yang saya kira amat membimbangkan kita semua. Dan mereka ini adalah yang paling ramai ditangkap ataupun disiasat oleh sekarang.
The Royal Malaysian Customs Department has crippled a syndicate that attempted to smuggle 283 red sandalwood logs on 17th July. Customs Deputy Director General for Enforcement and Compliance, Datuk Johari Alifiah, said the seizures worth 4.6 million ringgit was made at North Port, Port Klang, Selangor. Datuk Johari said the attempt to smuggle the wood commonly used for traditional herbal medicine was dashed by the detention of a container imported from India, which was declared as carrying carburetors and chambers. He said further inspection carried out on the container found several redwood logs inside.
Pengimportannya adalah tertakluk kepada suatu permit import yang dikeluarkan oleh Lembaga Perindustrian Kayu Malaysia, MTIB. Jumlah kayu merah atau red sandalwood ini dianggarkan sebanyak 283 batang dan jumlah berat dalam anggaran 8,000 kilogram. Nilai dagangan dianggarkan sebanyak ringgit Malaysia 4.6 juta dan dagangan ini tidak tertakluk sebarang duti dan cukai.
Datuk Johari said the red sandalwood trade was listed under Appendix 2 Cities Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora, which required exporters to have a certificate issued by the authorities of the country. He also said investigations into the importing company was ongoing and the mastermind behind the syndicate was also being tracked down. The case is being investigated under Section 135, subsection 1A of the Customs Act 1967. The Johor Police Contingent has arrested 92 individuals aged between 20 to 53 for being part of a migrant smuggling syndicate during a series of operations in Kota Tinggi, Sri Alam and Iskandar Puteri, Johor. Johor Police Chief Dato' Ayub Khan Maidin Piche said the detainees consist of 79 immigrants, 11 skippers and 2 transporters. In the first raid that was conducted on 19th July, police detained 4 skippers and 15 migrants along Sungai Ringit near Pengerang for attempting to leave the country illegally into a neighbouring country. Dato' Ayub Khan said police then launched a follow-up operation at a homestay in Ulu Tiram, Johor Bahru, where 6 other skippers and 16 migrants were arrested in connection with migrant smuggling activities.
Operasi ketiga dilancarkan pada 20 Julai. Sukarela telah berjaya membuat tangkapan ke atas 26 migran warga Indonesia di tepi jalan Batu 12, Kampung Mawai, Kota Tinggi. Kesemua yang ditangkap terdiri pada 20 lelaki, 5 perempuan dan seorang kanak-kanak perempuan. Pada 21 Julai, kami membuat satu lagi operasi susulan dan berjaya menangkap seorang lagi lelaki warga Indonesia bertaraf penduduk tetap berusia 53 tahun.
On 22nd July, Dato' Ayub Khan said police also arrested 21 Bangladeshi nationals for not having valid documentation, together with a local man, inside a bus during a roadblock near the port of Tanjung Pelepas. He added that the police raided a house near Kampung Tanjung Adang in Tanjung Kupang near Gelang Patah, where they arrested 8 Indonesian nationals yesterday. Throughout the raid, police also seized 3 boats, 5 40-horsepower boat engines, 28 various mobile phones, a bus, a car, and more than 8,000 ringgit in cash from the suspects. All the suspects are under police custody and are being investigated under Section 26A of the Anti-Trafficking in Persons and Anti-Smuggling of Migrants Act 2007 and the Immigration Act 1959-63. And that's it from us this afternoon. In our top story today, Ministry of Health welcomes government's move to make wearing of face masks mandatory. I'm Mohana Priya. Thanks for watching.